Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of viewers. This is your host Vaibhav. For today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we will be considering one interesting indicator to look at. The name is Ultimate Oscillator, and as from the name, the word ultimate is indeed quite compatible for this indicator, as this indicator tries to minimize the flaws in most of the other oscillator indicators and tries to correct them and make some adaptations for reducing the lag and at the same time producing more reliable trading signals. So we will now get started and head to the JForex 4, the newly released trading platform from, from the Dukascopy Bank SA. Pardon me. Now coming to this Euro USD charting, which is based on the hourly time frame. If you want to add these indicators, the ultimate oscillator, all you have to do is go to the list of momentum indicators, or else you can simply do a quick search using this F4 option and there it will appear. So first I will let you know where it is listed. It is amongst this ultimate oscillator below the true strength index. All right, and if you know the indicator's name, simply type in the ultimate and here we have it. All right. The default parameters are 7, 14, 28. These are indicator which uses multiple time frames for the calculation of the output for this indicator, and in that way it tries to minimize the volatility, the undue noise which can result in many trading signals being generated but not bringing us much of a profit. So this indicator tries to correct that flaw, and when we have strong trend in the instrument of our choice, for example Euro USD here, so if the momentum is strong, then for a considerable amount of time we might have the instrument falling, declining, and in this kind of scenario we might see the level reached by this ultimate oscillator can go deeper into the territory. But once it goes into a consolidation, we see reversal or some retracement on the higher side. And after that, whenever there is new resumption on the downside, we do get good opportunities to go short. But when we have other indicators in place, other oscillator indicators in place, we can only go for some retracement move, as those indicators are likely to remain in a oversold scenario unless there is significant reversal. So this is the one utility, one benefit, one advantage of ultimate oscillator compared to the other indicators. Its calculation is simple. You have to determine the buying pressure or selling pressure. Anyways, it can be calculated, but usually for simplicity purposes, it is usually called buying pressure. So in buying pressure, you calculate the difference between the current day's closing price and the true low. True low can be the current day's low or the prior day's close, whichever is the lowest value. So we take this difference into account and then we calculate the true range. Now, to true range is simply the difference between the current day's close, sorry, not close, current day's high and the low price, or the prior day's close and the current day's low, whichever is the highest. So we have to see which is the high price. If the current day's high is greater than the prior day's close, then we consider it as we consider the prior day's close, and from that we deduct the current day's low, so we arrive at true range. Then we take the average of buying pressure and the true range. We take the ratio for this given period of time. Now here the combination is 17, 14 and 28, and more weightage is given to the short time frame calculation. So we apply weight of 4 for 7 period calculation, 2 for 14 period calculation, and 28 is 28 period calculation is simply given the weight of 1. Then we divide it, the sum of all these three averages is then divided by 7. So that's how we arrive at this ultimate oscillator. And as I am not able to include the formula, exact formula here, it might sound a bit complicated for you, but it is not. And for getting to know the exact formula, you can simply do a quick search on internet and you will get the exact formula. So that's not much complicated. Here we will be focused more on the utility aspect of this indicator. So as I explained to you, one way to look at it is to look for the reversal or retracement from extreme situation, and this indicator is going to have one more advantage, that in stronger trend, when the initial spurt is there, either on the upside or on the downside, the indicator's output is going to reach these extreme values above 70 on the higher side and below 30 on the lower side, but it will take some time for it to then decline again and again. And if we look at the, say for example, other indicator like RSI, as you can notice, we have this directional similarity, but these extreme values which are reached on these RSI happen to be much earlier compared to the ultimate oscillator. So ultimate oscillator gives weight to the recent price move in the context of the prior price moves. So in extreme situations, we can get involved for the retracement move later in time frame, not earlier in the spurt. So that is one advantage of this indicator. And also the reliability is going to be more, as multiple time frames are involved for the calculation of the indicator. Now let us see what are the customization options available to us. The time period can be varied, so the default combination is of 17, 14 and 28. But if you want to vary it, you can go for your choice. Suppose if you want to simply try out the double combination, twice the values, you can do that and see how much the output is going to change. So here we have the changes in the output. Now the combination is 14, 28 and 56. Okay, so here this downward decline would not have resulted in too much of a loss, as we would have gone for this retracement move only sparsely. There were not many opportunity to go against the trend, but there were some opportunities to go with the trend, as we can use 50 as a critical marker. So whenever the crossover happens from below 50 to above 50, we can start looking for buy trades, and when we have the crossover from above 50 to below 50, we can start looking for some short selling opportunities after due consolidation. So in that context, I feel we would have indeed got some opportunities for the trade with the trend as well as for the against the trend. And since we didn't really get the extreme values of above 70 or below 30, which are markers of overbought or oversold scenarios, we would have not really gone for against the trend when we are using this combination of higher time frame. Now I will restore it back to the default setup. 19, 14 and 28. Coming to the output plotting, here this simple line is there, bluish. If you want to lighten it up or style it up, we have got all these options which can be utilized to increase or decrease its transparency. All the styling options are there. So see, it is now looking much different compared to what it was when I plotted it earlier. So here it is. Levels, if you feel like, you can add the levels for this indicator. So for example, if you want to add a level of 50 to be used as a marking point, you can do that, or you can add 70 and 30 to denote overbought and oversold levels. So you get this option to do the editing as per your requirement, as per your need. Coming to the advanced editing options, we can opt for the recalculate on new candle only. In that case, the output is going to remain constant throughout the current candle period, else it will keep varying depending on the current closing price. So you have to see what suits you better and then accordingly opt for this option. Highlight the time period zone. If you want the calculation period to be highlighted, you can go for this option. The calculation can be customized further. It can be for any instrument from the chart, or you can specify on which instrument these indicators should appear. The candle period can also be similarly be same as per the chart, or you can specify that the calculation period should be different. If you want the candle time period to be 15 minutes, then each candle will be measured for 15 minutes only, even though the chart's candle period is of 50 hourly time frame. So here now you will see the plotting of this indicator is going to be much different as the candle period has been reduced for 15 minutes, even though the chart's candle period is hourly. All right. Split side can be used, or you can go for ask or bid. It can be specified. If you want the indicator to be available on all the candle periods whenever you change it, you can opt in for this. Else you will have to specify on which time frame the indicator should be plotted, and only on those time frames the indicator will be available. So you have to try out these combinations, and suppose if you want to use multiple indicators on different time frames, then you can go for the other option. You can keep ultimate oscillator for certain candle periods, and for other candle periods you can go for some other indicator, so you will be able to read into the market dynamics much more efficiently. You can take into the account perspective generated by various indicators and then try to make informed trading decisions depending on all these signals generated by these indicators. So here we are almost done with these indicators, customization options, the concept also I tried to explain to you, and the utility, some of the ways. Of course, what I tried to explain to you in terms of its uses is not going to be exhaustive. You can always come up with new uses. You can also figure out your own custom made criterions for making the trading decisions. So that's always up to you. So I would suggest that you try out these indicators, see how it works out for you, go for multiple time frame testing, and if it is good enough, if it works out, and if it increases your probability of making money, then I think my purpose will be served. For further coverage of the market developments, do check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook. You can reach out to us there too. For trying out this newly released trading platform, the link has been included in the bio. So give it a try and let me know how it works out for you. That's all from my side for today's session. Thank you all for joining in. I will be back tomorrow with a new indicator, new formations, new explanations. So do come back. Thank you all. Goodbye.